Welcome to Contemporary Black Voices, where we look at issues and topics affecting the Black community. My name is Dr. Sharon Michael Chadwell, your host, and with me today we have screenwriter and author Fred Williams, entrepreneur and community activist Chris Dawkins, and New York Times bestseller Caleb Alexander. Well, Valentine's Day is coming up next week on the 14th, and since the end of Christmas, stores have been began the commercialization of a holiday symbolic with love. However, there lies a question for all of us to ponder. Why does Black love matter? Thinking of those love songs such as LTD's Love Ballad, the Isley Brothers, For the Love of You, New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain, Sade's No Ordinary Love, and Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, pulled at your heartstrings and made you want to get home to your loved one as soon as possible. So, talking with a friend of mine, he shared the following. Black love matters because it is the foundation for the sustainability of our culture. It is the love for family or race or community that has made it possible for us to survive throughout the decades of centuries in a brutally racist environment. Now, everyone on this panel except for me is married. However, each have a perspective on why Black love matters, or have we steered too far away from it? With that being said, we invite you to sit back, consider the topic, and share your comments. In addition, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. So, Caleb, I know you got a lot to say. You always got a lot to say. So what are your thoughts about the topic?
So does it matter? Yeah, it matters. It's what sustained us. You know what I mean? Since we've been on this place in this continent. I mean, it's sustained us, that kind of love where, you know what I mean, the husband comes in and she's mended his back. The man who loves a child that he knows is not his. It's this Black love that is always sustained us. So my question is, though, do we still have that in our communities? And so that's the biggest question. You know what I mean? Is where are we at as far as that kind of love? Do we still have that kind of love? Is that love still out there? Is it still available in this day and age? Is that taught? I mean, I can think of an older generation, or even my grandma's generation, right? And you take a woman of a certain age and you say, hey, you know what I mean? Who gets their plate fixed first? Husband or the kid? That woman's gonna look at you like you crazy. My husband. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about, without my husband, there's no kids. You know what I mean? My husband, I'll fix my husband. If you ask someone my generation, you ask my wife, well, whose plate gets fixed first? You're gonna say, what's wrong with any of them? You know what I mean? They can go and fix it over. You know? So, but it's different. And then we live in an area, in an age of social media, where it's so easy to turn to social media for validation instead of putting in the work, because marriage is something, it's that Black love, you work on it every day. It's not automatic. You have to recommit to it every day. But in this age of social media where it's so easy to, instead of facing the core issues, a lot of these young women these days, they go on social media, they post a picture, they get 1,000 likes and 10,000 people in their inbox. So it's easy to seek validation in other places than at home, and to continue to build on that. So my question is, yes, it's necessary, but are we still able to obtain that kind of?
Okay. Fred, what are your thoughts?
I wrote an anthology, and the name of it is Black is the Color of Love. And what I was doing with this anthology is what the media has done over the years is perceive us as sex objects. Mm-hmm. And it's only about sex. And I think in the long run, for a long time, that's hurt us, because the real love hasn't always been shown. Caleb wrote a short story for this anthology called The Gift. Now, everybody should read that story. It's about a family that gets together at Christmas time, and the elder of the family calls out names of people who generations back, and the child that's able to answer who that was, well, that was Uncle Jojo, or that was Grandpa so-so and so-and-so, gets the gift. And that's the gift for Christmas for them. And a number of other people have written some great stories in that anthology. And that's what love is all about. You know, in our society, we equate sex with love. They jump into bed, they have sex. Oh, I love you. Oh, I love you. 2 weeks later, I hate your ass. Come on. Love doesn't happen like that. And love is something that's forever. And it builds what it's done for us through centuries. A black man having to watch a plantation owner come in, snatch his woman, take her out, rape her, and throw her back into that room. He had to love her. He had to be there for her because of what she just went through. And think of how hard it was on him also. That love sustained us through those hard times, through Jim Crow laws. A mother that has to watch the KKK take her son out and lynch him. She has a special love for that boy, even though he's gone. That's the love I'm talking about in the book, Black is the Color Love. And that's the love that matters. Is what Caleb is talking about now, social media and all that, hurting that? I don't know. But we, and I'll say it to you all out there who you come back and call me old. Yeah, I'm old. But my God, I'm glad I'm old. Because that means I made it to be old. Right. You know, you don't have an option in that. So anyway, that's what's brought you to this point. You younger people, that's what brought you to this point. The love of your grandmother she had for you. The love your mother had for you. That love got you here. So yeah, love matters. It's always mattered, and hopefully that it will continue to matter as we go into next generations.
I'm going to say something that's going to probably get almost certain that Chris is going to piggyback on. So you were talking about how easy it is to go on social media, put a picture of yourself up for validation, okay? And then you talked about how it takes a lot of work. And so I remember a conversation I had with this gentleman that claimed that he loved me. So I asked him the question, if I had a mastectomy or even a double mastectomy, could he still love me? And he said, I don't know. So love, I think.
So he didn't love you.
He didn't love me, but love is beyond the aesthetics, because over time, things are going to happen. So I guess for a single person, one of the questions probably should be asked, if I start breaking down, will you still love me? Chris?
Oh, I definitely have to say yes, but before I get into that, I've got a lot of emotions that are going through me when you ask that question about Black love. Are we talking about the intimacy between two people? Are we actually talking about the love that we have, Black love for one another, who may be our extended family and different people like that? So I'm wondering in which context, or do we just take the context as to however we feel? When you talk about Black men or men, period, I can remember being in a men's group in church, and one of the things that women loved was for men to say, I love you. And men knew that they could get sex if they would tell you that I loved you. So men had no commitment to saying, I love you, other than they wanted to have sex, okay? The women were always looking for that man, okay, who could tell them that they loved them and really meant it. And that becomes, to me, the give and take that really happens between men and women. Now, you ask about Black love. how much should black love really matter? You and I went to the movie the other day and we saw Origin. There were some white people that were there. So if you begin, not white people there, but talking about it in the movie. So when you begin to talk about love itself and take off the word black, does it really matter whether the person that you love may be white or may not be white or may be of another ethnicity? Sorry, folks, I can't say that. But anyway, whether they are or whether they're not. Because when you break down to take black off and you just talk about love, I love you for just who you are. I don't necessarily love you for being black. I don't love you for this. And you and look at a situation like Charlie Wilson. Charlie Wilson was out on the street, drug infested and so forth. And who came to his rescue was a white woman. And because of that, that's who he is with. Should he shun her because she's white, although she helped to bring him out of the dreadlums of life?
You know, when you go ahead,
Let me
Kenny.
get this.
Go ahead.
Let me get this. No, but you know what? That who you love is who you love. You
Right.
know what I mean? And that she was there for him, and that's fine. That's wonderful. That is love. Black love is something different. Because when I come home from at the end of the day and I say I'm tired, that black woman knows what I mean when I say I'm tired. She understands what I've been through. She understands what her father has been through. She understands what her brothers have been through. She understands what her sons are going to go through. So it's a different type of love. When a black woman comes in and she says, I'm tired, I understand what she means, because I understand she not only has to fight gender, she has to fight race.
Okay.
And a lot of those conversations that we have with each other, we can have without even having words, without saying it, because I know what she's been through. It's different. You know what I mean? Black love, when we get together as community, we're playing dominoes, having barbecue. It's a different. You know what I mean? It's just it's a different type of love.
Eat some pork
that-
ribs.
and then that kind of black love, it begins with family, and that black family is the foundation of each one of those black communities,
There you
those
go.
families.
Yes.
And so the thing about it is, you know what I mean? Again, you love who you love, but it's a different kind of love. It's a different, you know what I mean? Because when you see your mama go through it, you see your mama come home tired and say she's tired. I know what my wife has gone through when she comes home and says, when she says, you know what, I'm not getting in that swimming pool, I know why she's saying it. You know what I mean? So it's a different level and a different understanding
I got it.
when it's between.
I think that love is an overused word. It takes time to fall in love with someone. It takes time. Like my example I used earlier. Your first attraction to the other sex is physical. Let's face it, it's physical. From that physical, if you get beyond that, you get married, then over time, you become like one. When the physical dies off, which it's going to do, let's be honest, it's going to do, unless you take in something every night, Viagra or something.
Taking it every night.
You know what? I'm going to put a pause on this conversation because it's getting, we may have to put, some things sexually explicit. But with that, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back to Fred.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.